Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news, all right. So here's the scoop that's got everyone talking in the NFC North. And honestly, it could be one of the most impactful moves of the offseason so far. Rumors are swirling that the Chicago Bears might be looking to trade Jaylon Johnson, their standout shutdown cornerback, to the Green Bay Packers. And if this deal happens, it could shake up the entire division and give the Packers a serious boost heading into the rest of the season. Now, let's break down what this really means. Johnson, at just 26 years old, has been one of the most reliable and elite cornerbacks in the league when it comes to man coverage. Since entering the NFL in 2020, he's accumulated 8 interceptions and 42 pass breakups, drawing comparisons to some of the best in the game, like Jalen Ramsey, especially in terms of coverage skills. His PFF coverage grades are consistently high, and in 2025, he's grading out at an incredible 92. 1. That's the kind of shutdown ability that can really change a defense's identity. He's also been remarkably durable, playing all 10 games this season without any injuries, which is a big plus for any team looking for consistency. What makes Johnson so valuable is his ability to lock down top receivers and force quarterbacks into uncomfortable throws. He's responsible for a very low completion percentage targeted at him, around 38.4%, and has forced 3 incompletions this season alone. His ability to shadow the opponent's best receiver creates a lot of opportunities for his defense, and that's exactly what the Packers need right now, a true CB1 to help solidify their secondary. Looking at his career stats, Johnson has accumulated 8 interceptions and 42 pass deflections over his 4 seasons, and his playing style is very reminiscent of some of the league's top coverage guys. His man-to-man skills are elite, and he's proven he can be a shutdown presence on the outside. That's exactly the kind of player Green Bay desperately needs, especially after Jaire Alexander's recent injury struggles. Alexander, who's been a solid corner for the Packers, has been dealing with a shoulder injury that kept him out from weeks 5 to 7, and that's exposed some vulnerabilities in the Packers' secondary. Now, why would Chicago consider trading Johnson? Well, the Bears are in a bit of a rebuild mode. They're sitting at 4-6, trying to prioritize the offensive line to give rookie quarterback Caleb Williams more protection, which is smart, considering their offensive line has allowed 38 sacks this season. Plus, they're looking to allocate cap space to extend key players like Darnell Mooney and Devon Swift, while also giving more opportunities to emerging talents like Tyrique Stevenson, who's been impressively graded at 74.2 by PFF this season. Chicago's focus seems to be on protecting Williams and building around him, so trading Johnson makes sense if they believe they can get good value in return. And what about the Packers? Well, Green Bay is sitting at a solid 6-3-1, but their secondary has been a bit leaky, giving up around 248 passing yards per game, which ranks them 16th in the league. With Jaire Alexander's injury history and the aging of some of their defensive backs, bringing in Johnson could be a game changer. His skill set aligns perfectly with what the Packers need, a lockdown corner who can take away the opponent's top receiver. Plus, his presence would allow the defense to be even more aggressive, knowing they have a guy who can shut down half the field. The potential impact of this trade goes far beyond just boosting the secondary. Johnson's ability to make big plays and limit the passing game could significantly improve Green Bay's overall defensive efficiency. Think about it. By allowing fewer yards per target, reducing the passer rating against, and creating more turnovers, the Packers could turn close games into wins and even elevate their chances of making a deep playoff run. The secondary would look more like the units that helped the Packers win Super Bowls in the past, reminiscent of the dominant 2010 squad that was so difficult to beat. And let's be honest, this move could also be a strategic play to boost the Packers' odds of a Super Bowl victory. Their Super Bowl odds are currently around plus 3,500, but with Johnson in the fold, some sportsbooks might start to see Green Bay as a more serious contender, especially considering the division rivals, like the Vikings, who have Justin Jefferson and Addison, will think twice before throwing into the Green Bay secondary if Johnson is covering one side of the field. His addition would be like putting a lock on the window of opportunity, closing the door on big plays from division foes. Now, what does this mean for the rivalry between Packers and Bears? Well, it definitely heats things up. The Bears are trying to rebuild and find their identity, but the Packers are still aiming for another deep playoff push. Adding a player like Johnson not only strengthens the defense, but also sends a message to the division that Green Bay isn't backing down. It's about reestablishing dominance and making sure that the NFC North remains a tough battleground. Johnson's presence on the field could be the piece that pushes Green Bay over the edge, especially with how they've been developing their young quarterback, Jordan Love, and building a more balanced team overall. Looking at the bigger picture, this move could be a turning point for the Packers' defense. With Johnson's elite coverage skills, Green Bay could revive a secondary that's been a bit inconsistent this season. When you combine that with the solid play of safeties and a front seven that's been decent, the secondary could become a true strength again. Think about the impact of having a shutdown corner who can take away one side of the field consistently. It allows the rest of the defense to operate more aggressively, blitz more, and create turnovers. This trade could also influence the locker room and team chemistry. Bringing in a player of Johnson's caliber signals that Green Bay is committed to winning now and that they're willing to make bold moves to improve. It energizes the defense, boosts confidence, and creates a ripple effect across the entire team. For the fans, it's a sign that the Packers are serious about contending for another Super Bowl, and that's exactly what every fan wants to see. Of course, there are questions. Will Chicago accept the trade? What will it take for Green Bay to get him? A second-round pick in 2026 and a first-rounder in 2027 have been mentioned as potential offers. That's a significant price, but considering Johnson's talent and age, it might be worth it. Packers fans should keep an eye on how this develops, because if it comes to fruition, we could be witnessing a move that reshapes the NFC North and puts Green Bay back on the Super Bowl map. In the end, this potential trade is more than just a roster move. It's a statement. It says that Green Bay is still in the fight, still looking to contend for championships, and willing to make bold moves to get there. Johnson's addition could be the missing piece in their defensive puzzle, elevating the whole team and giving them that extra edge in a highly competitive league. So, Packers fans, stay tuned, because this story isn't over yet, and the next chapter could be one of the most exciting in recent franchise history. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think the Packers should go all in to bring Jaylon Johnson to Lambeau Field? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news. The season's heating up, and with moves like these, the Packers are showing they're all in for another shot at Super Bowl glory. Let's keep the faith, stay loud, and keep believing, because the best is yet to come for this team.